Guys were, you know, like I said, I was expecting something completely different coming in to work with these guys because of how long it took to make the Pacquiao fight. But it was, I can tell you it wasn't this side. That I can promise you. These guys have been fantastic.
And of course the question on every UFC fan's mind is when is Conor McGregor going to step back to the octagon? I know it's early, but have you had a chance to speak with him at all? I mean, any indication of what should and could come next for him in the UFC?
Yeah, I've been back there with him pretty much this whole time, and we're not talking about fighting tonight. You know, he put on a great performance. We're not talking about fighting. You know how he is, man. When he's ready, he'll let me know.
Dana over here. What's your response after the event tonight to people who said this was going to be a circus, that it would be a farce?
Yeah, you know, you have to have negative people, man. When you're doing stuff like this, it creates the debate and the back and forth. But I knew Conor McGregor's a fighter, you know, and we saw a fight tonight. I don't know if tonight was the best boxing you've ever seen, but we saw a fight. And I mean, Conor was in here landing jabs on Floyd Mayweather. He was hitting him with right hands. He hit him with a big uppercut, hitting him with nice body shots. Conor McGregor looked damn good tonight to me. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I thought he looked awesome, and I'm proud of him.
Do you think your heavyweight champion, Stipe Miocic, would do well in a boxing match?
I don't even want to talk about my other guys in a boxing match. This was one of those, you know, two big superstars. This thing built from the bottom up, from the fans to the media, and then up to us when we even started remotely considering something like this. And it was just a real special event and a rare, it's a rare event. I'm not looking to do this again.
Hey, Dana, straight back. Straight back, all the way back.
Yep.
Considering that he did as well as he did tonight against Floyd, what do you think would have been the case if he had started out like a regular boxer, where you mentioned before, guys going to 4 rounds, 6 rounds. Tonight he went 10 with Floyd Mayweather. Had he had some experience and not just coming on his pro debut, how much better do you think he would have been able to perform?
Yeah, I think for a lot of the people here today that are big boxing guys and have never liked MMA or whatever the deal might be, Conor McGregor is a rare, special individual, man. He's an incredible fighter. He's willing to put everything on the line. It's like I say all the time, without any risk, there is no great reward. You must, you know, the greats always risk. And Conor McGregor is that guy. He's a very special individual. I think if he would have started boxing, he'd have probably been very well. I mean, how can we even debate it? How can we even talk about it? He just went 10 rounds, 10 really good rounds with Floyd Mayweather.
Hey Dana, off to your right here. To your right?
Yep.
How you doing? Conor's purse this evening was 10 times the size of his biggest disclosed purse in the UFC. Do you expect that to cause you problems in negotiations in the future?
No. Listen, if our fights do what those guys did here tonight in the gate, we'll all be good, trust me. Nobody will be bitching about anything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey Dana, to your left. To your left, corner. Right here.
Hey.
Champ Creed, Fox Sports Radio. So, before the fight today, it was announced that Top Rank Boxing is doing a deal with Disney for their library, distribution, and one of the things that was mentioned in the article was that they made an overture to you guys to see if they could incorporate a deal. And we've seen you with the Zuffa Boxing, Macgregor Boxing Club. Is there anything that you know of on high that will include boxing into the portfolio of what you guys have going on with the UFC?
You know, I never say never. I've said never before, and I was wrong. I wanted to get through this fight, get this fight behind us, and first of all, I want to get back to business, doing what I do, which is the UFC. And I don't know, I would never say never, but it's not something I'm thinking about right now.
Okay, and conversely, Leonard, now that you see the numbers that the UFC brought with their digital media infrastructure that helped boost the social media attention, the views, and the ticket sales, do you foresee yourself and Al Heyman, do you foresee yourself and Al Heyman dipping your feet in a pool of MMA, whether it be, you know, something under the PBC brand or the TMT brand?
Was that to him?
Yeah, that was for Leonard. I mean, I asked it again.
Wow. All right, Lance is last. Okay. Oh,
we're always open to doing anything if it makes business sense. You know, we're very good at what we do, and we're going to continue doing our thing.
Dana, I was talking to some other UFC people before the fight, even before the fight, and they were saying what this has done in bringing fans, you know, attention to the UFC is probably the best thing about this fight. Do you agree with that point?
Say it again. What was the question?
I mean, other than Conor's strong showing tonight, even before the fight, some of the UFC officials I was talking to said the great thing about this fight is that it's bringing so many new fans to your sport, and it will do that. Is that the same way you feel?
I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. The way that I look at fights and the way that I look at fighting is, we're going to have fights that we put on that are for the hardcore UFC fans. We're going to have some fights that will do better than that, and then we'll have some fights that are big, where we do the Diaz Conor 1.5 million, you know, these type of things. It takes two very special people in the right place and the right time to do the freakish kind of numbers and the water cooler talk and all the things that this fight had. You got to have the right people in the right place at the right time. This shit doesn't happen all the time. You know what I mean? This has happened twice. It's happened twice.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for none other than Floyd Mayweather.
Here we go again. I don't know what to say. I know we've been doing this for 21 years. I told you guys I'd come straight ahead. So, you know, with coming straight ahead, I was going to take some contact. I could have sat back and just boxed and counter-punched and made it boring. I didn't want to do that. I feel like I owe the fans a last hurrah. So we went out there, and that was the game plan. Me and my dad communicated before we went out there. The whole game plan was to go out there and let him shoot heavy shots from the beginning, take him down the stretch and do what we do best. And that's what we did tonight. We had a cool training camp. You know, I didn't box for the last one. I didn't do no sparring. But, you know, there's no excuses. He came out here, he fought a hell of a fight, a hell of a stand-up guy, and I went out there and just did what I do best. Found a way to trap him and broke him down. And, you know, I want to say congratulations to my team. Strong team. I got a real strong team. I've been working on my team for a lot of years. You know, I've been knowing Dana White for 21 years since I came to Las Vegas. And I'm one of the first guys that believed in Dana White before anybody believed in Dana White. I was one of the first guys to give Dana White a chance, but nobody wanted to give him a chance. Dana, thank you. And Leonard Ellaby, you know, CEO of Mayweather Promotions. We don't always see eye to eye, but at the end of the day, we always get great results, and we get the job done. Me and my father, we don't always see eye to eye, but we always get great results, and that's really what it's about. You know, my publicist, Kelly Swanson, CBS, Showtime, Steven Espinoza. I mean, there's so many people I want to thank. You know, the CEO of UFC, you know, the fans from Ireland that came over, and all the media, the MMA media, the boxing media, for covering this event. You know, I want to go out with a bang. I told you guys it'd be blood, sweat, and tears. And I told you he was a hell of a fighter standing up. Kind of shocked me. And I told my dad, it was something I was talking to my dad about, that me and him would keep amongst us, because certain things don't go out to the public, you know. But we had a game plan. Our game plan was to take our time, let him shoot all his heavy shots, keep walking him down, shoot heavy shots to the body, shoot big shots upstairs. And my dad sat around My dad thought it was going to be a little bit earlier, around the 7th or the 6th. But you know, it took us a little longer than we expected, but we did what we said we was going to do. And I promise everybody, remember this. You know, I told you people, I guarantee you this fight wouldn't go the distance. I told you, I was going for the knockout, I was going straight ahead. And with going straight ahead, you're going to take contact. I understand that. But, you know, after 21 years in the sport of boxing, you know, I had some great fights, I had some boring fights. But at the end of the day, I will be always remembered as a winner, you know, no matter how you win, as long as you win. And I knew how to, I know how to dissect my opponent. I know how to go out there and break them down and just stick to the game plan.
Floyd, right straight in front of you.
What up, Kevin?
Congrats on the win. First, I have a couple questions. First, you mentioned you hadn't sparred last month. Was it an injury or why not?
It was an injury, of course. Not an injury like that, but I wanted my hands to be 100% for the fight. You know, I didn't want my hands is real brittle. You know, everybody knows that. I wanted my hands to be solid when I come out here. So when I'm shooting hard shots, you know, I'm able to break the guy down. Whereas if I were to box and I got a serious hand injury, I wouldn't be able to punch as hard.
My second question, though, is you leave, you were the biggest star, you sold the most pay-per-views, the most tickets. Where does boxing go from here after this? How do you generate the next level of stars? And who do you see as the guys who are going to be the ones selling the million pay-per-views and keep up the momentum that you have in 2017 in boxing?
Okay, I'm going to touch on that. I'm going to touch on that, Kevin, but I want to say something. We did break the record tonight for the biggest gate. Me and Pacquiao done 72 million. I think we've done somewhere over 80 million, you know, for the live gate. We also, on pay-per-view, it took us so long to come out for the fight. I know all the fans was anticipating, like, why you guys taking so long? The reason why we took so long is because the servers, the pay-per-view server in California and in Florida crashed. So we want to make sure we get everything back in place, you know, everything in the right place so that everybody can see pay-per-view and give everybody a show. And you ask me about who do I think is the next superstar in boxing. There's a lot of hell of a fighters out there. There's a lot of young lions out there, you know. You won't see me in the ring no more, so any guy that's calling me out, forget it, I'm okay. You know, I had a great career, I had a tremendous career. I'm proud of Badu Jack. I'm proud of Javante, Tank Davis. I'm proud of everybody that's under the Mayweather Promotions banner. You know, and of course, you know, I have to say I'm proud of Al Heyman, you know, just being an advisor / manager, us being business partners, us communicating, us knowing one another for over a decade, and us, you know, taking boxing to that next level. You know, and Steven, and I can't thank Steven enough, and I can't thank Showtime enough, or CBS, just for believing in me. You know, I had a, you know, and I went to Showtime. I told Showtime, these are the things that I want to do. You know, I want to roll the dice and take chances and do record-breaking things. And tonight, we broke the Pacquiao pay-per-view number. We broke, all I'm doing is break my own record. So, but hopefully, I can find the next Floyd Mayweather that can sell a million homes, Kevin. You know, everything takes time, but eventually, we'll find the next superstar.
Hey Floyd, straight back. Congratulations. Right here, baby.
Oh, hey.
Dan Rayfield here.
I know Dan.
All right.
You're right for ESPN, Dan. I've been on your fan.
Congratulations on the victory tonight. I wanted to ask you one thing about yourself and one about Conor. First of all, now that your career is over, you say you're going back into retirement. Other than your business interests with Mayweather Promotions and your gentleman's club here in Las Vegas, what other things do you want to do with the rest of your life?
I just want to help these fighters. You know, I look forward to becoming a boxing trainer.
Oh, wow.
Just helping trainers. As far as no different from, my dad is a hell of a trainer. You know, he taught me the sport. And everything that he taught me from day one, I still know. But I want to help these other trainers help make fighters better. You know, I want to go out there and help fighters better and teach fighters about becoming a superstar, not just in the ring, but on the outside. A lot of times fighters think that, oh, I'm undefeated or I'm a knockout puncher. That makes me a superstar. It takes more than that. I mean, it takes a lot of work on the outside and surround yourself with the right team to become a mega superstar.
Floyd, my other question for you is, I'd like you to just take a minute and assess Conor McGregor that you saw in the ring tonight. I'd like you to maybe mention about what you felt as far as his power, his skills, and frankly, how you think he might do if he was fighting a regular fighter, not a Floyd Mayweather.
He was solid. You know, I've been off for a couple of years, and I'm a lot older now. Remember I told you guys, I'm not the same Floyd Mayweather I was 21 years ago. I told you guys I'm not the same Floyd Mayweather I was 2 years ago. But remember, I still have a hell of an IQ, and you know, I'm still a thinker. So what I did was, I mean, as far as this question about, he's solid. I mean, I felt it before, so that's why I kept coming straight ahead. It obviously wasn't the type of power to say I can't come forward, because if it was that type of power, I wouldn't have came forward.
Floyd, just to follow up on Conor, there was a lot of concern coming into this fight that the rules were going to be followed, and it was a little bit rough at times in there. There were some warnings. How did you feel about the way Conor conducted himself in the ring tonight?
I let the referee do his job. You know, I let the referee do his job. I'm not here to bash the referee. I mean, but you guys know what was going on. A lot of rabbit punching, a lot. You know, things happen, but you know, you live and you learn. You know, the referee's a hell of a referee. Conor McGregor's a hell of a fighter. I'm not here to bash anyone. I just went out there to do my job tonight.
And I did want to ask, at the end of the 5th round, you did have a little push after the bell. I kind of wonder what was going through your head at that point. Was that frustration? Was that the message? What was that about?
You know, give the fans what they want to see. I pushed them and told them, you still ain't knocked me out yet. I thought you said it wasn't going past 4. Show me your real power. That's all. It was, you know, it just, you know, trash talking that, you know, fighters do, whether it's MMA or boxing. You know, we talk trash, that's what we do. You know, when the best compete against the best, we want to be pushed. And that's what, you know, that's how boxing and MMA goes.
Floyd, of your 50 victories, what in your mind was your most impressive?
Well, every fight played a major key. You know, not just number 50, just to get to this point. You know, a lot of people ask me about Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano is a legend. He paved the way for me to be where I'm at. There's a lot of champions that paved the way for me to be where I'm at. I'm very appreciative, very thankful. And like I said, every fight comes to me. Not just one fight, not number 48, not number 49, not number 50. Every fight played a major key in my career.
Floyd, I asked you in Toronto tonight to surprise you with Bill did like the media tour. Can I ask you the same question tonight? Did McGregor surprise you in the ring tonight?
I said again?
Did McGregor surprise you anyway tonight?
I knew he was going to be awkward from the beginning. But right before we came out, you know, I talked with the legendary trainer, Floyd Mayweather, my father. We talked, and he said, you know, we communicated. You know, when I was younger, you know, when I got older, me and my dad is able to talk. There's a difference between when I'm 21 and I'm 40. Me and my dad is able to have a father-son conversation. We communicated, we talked. And my dad was in the corner a couple times, and he wanted more out of me, but he knew the reason why. He knew what I was doing. We talked about it in the back. We said the game plan is let him shoot his bow, let him shoot all the hard shots. He's going to try to kill me. He's going to keep switching. We'll take our time, shoot hard shots to the body, eventually break him down. We get him around the 6 and the 7, but he lasted a little longer than we expected, but, you know, I stuck to the game plan.
Floyd?
Over here at 211. Hi Floyd, it's Rebecca with Hollywood Unlocked. So I was wondering, the internet has been going in on Conor for hitting you in the back of the head a few times. He had a few warnings. Did that throw you off at all?
I'm not here to bash him. I told you guys what I was going to do. I knew he was going to be a tough competitor. It's about pushing myself. And in number 49, it wasn't good enough. Number 48, it wasn't good enough. So I told you guys I was going to come straight ahead for number 50 can be good. I can't be the fighter and the record. I have to choose what I'm going to be. And a lot of rabbit punching, a lot of hitting the back of the head, hitting in the back. Once again, I'm not the referee, I'm just a fighter. That's for the referee to do his job. And I told the referee in the back, if you go back and view it, when the referee was in the back with me, I told him, he's going to be doing a lot of rabbit punching, And my only concern was hit me in the back of the head. I said, I want him to keep the punches on the side and in the front. But all the shots was coming to the back, but he's tough. He's a tough guy.
Floyd, did you feel any effects of age tonight?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I just know that going straight ahead, if you're going straight ahead, you know, with your guards up, you're going to get some contact. You know, I'm trying to close the gap. He was throwing some awkward shots from an awkward position, you know, landed a couple uppercuts, hooks, you know, but I'm more like, you know, stay calm, relax. You've been here before because, you know, you can't play into the crowd. You can't play into his fans. Just take your time, stick to the game plan, and you'll get the job done.
I thought a great example of, you know, your legacy and how long you've lasted was Gervonta's situation, missing weight. As you reflect on all the difficulties that you have to endure to reach 50 and out, is that the ultimate sense of pride that you take away from your career?
Like what? What take away from my career? Like what?
Just, you know, enduring all those things, trying to make weight, taking on each opponent, like you said, dissecting each opponent, figuring each guy out, and doing what you do. Over time.
I mean, just throughout my career, another thing about my career, I never wanted, you know, as far as, you know, making weight, when you asked me about Gervonta, Tank, making weight. He's young. But when I was young, I think I would have made those same mistakes if I didn't have my father in my life. You know, just being a coach that was extremely hard on me. You know, I think that if he didn't discipline me in boxing, I don't really know where, you know, how my career would have played out. You know, I didn't want to slack, and I didn't want to seem irresponsible or not disciplined. So that's why I always you got to sacrifice something to get something. So that's why I've always made sacrifices to get to a certain level. And to get to the pinnacle, you got to make sacrifices, and that's what I did.
Floyd, I know you said everything went according to the plan tonight, but was there any point that when Conor pushed you to something you didn't want him to do this night? I mean, you follow off what your comments on what he said, and he made you fall like a Mexican tonight.
Say it again, he wanted to what?
He said over the ring that he made you fall like a Mexican tonight. Did you buy that? Do you agree with that?
Listen, everybody know in this room that's watching me fight, I could have easily outboxed Conor McGregor, counter-punched him all night. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go out with a bang. I told you guys I would come straight ahead. I feel like I owe that to the fans for the Pacquiao fight. Even though I don't owe anybody nothing, I put the pressure on myself and did it myself. And that was a goal of mine. I told you guys that this fight wouldn't go the distance. Go back and look at all the interviews that I did.
Floyd,
hey.
Chris Joe from The Sportsman. First off, congratulations, not just on tonight, but on 50 fights that have gone your way. Congratulations, well played, sir. The people that we've spoken to ahead of this fight, when we've asked them, what chance does Conor McGregor have? How does he beat Floyd Mayweather? And these are other fighters and just fight fans in general. They said one thing Floyd Mayweather's got to overcome tonight is the will of the Irish. Did you feel the Irish presence in the crowd tonight?
I never focus on anything but the guy that's in front of me. Because when it comes down to it, I always say this for many, many years, the fans cannot fight for you. And one thing I know I can do, I can fight. So, the fans, when they shout, scream, I don't worry about nothing. I just, you know, keep my composure and stick to the game plan. Constantly keep coming ahead, pushing him back. You know, when he first come out for the first 20 seconds of the round, when he go back to his corner and he sit down. I said when he come out, he's gonna come out for 30 seconds and fight hard. And then he's gonna break. And once he breaks, that's when I'm gonna shoot a hard shot to the body, hit him with a hard shot on top, and keep pushing him back. Remember, I told you guys, weight doesn't win fights. Fighting wins fights. And then, you know, when I said talking doesn't win fights, fighting wins fights. Meaning that when we was on the, you know, when we was on stage for the weigh-in, I don't have to do no more talking. We fight tomorrow, so I did enough talking on our tour, basically. So everybody said, "Oh, Mayweather, you was talking on the tour." Okay, I did a lot of talking on tour, but now it's time to fight. We're 24 hours. We're 24 hours away from the biggest fight in the world, the biggest combat fight in the world. There's no need to talk anymore. There's no need to talk anymore. And remember, all the fans that was here, those are soccer fans. And for the international people, those are football fans. But he's a hell of a fighter. And then, I hear him talk about, oh, you should let me go out on my back and go out on my face. No, the referee saves you because the referee is thinking about your future. Because you're still young, and we want you to be able to fight again someday. So the referee is saving you, he's not saving me. That's all I'm saying.
Hey Floyd, I'll say you sound pretty certain of a retirement this time around, but obviously we've heard that before. So I just wonder, what is different this time around, and is it a different feeling than previous retirement?
Yes, I did walk away from the sport before. Very comfortable. I didn't have to come back. But, like I said, we do foolish things sometimes. All of us do foolish things. But I'm not a damn fool. If I see an opportunity to make 350 million in 36 minutes, why not? I had to do it. But this is the last one. You guys have my word. I had a great career. A great career. I can't complain about anything, I can't complain about anything, Stephen Espinoza, like I said before, and CBS, they gave me the biggest deal in sports history.
Go ahead.
Right?
Hold on.
Okay. Hi, thank you. Carol Bryant for NBA Heat. Floyd, you talked about not sparring, and I am curious. Right here. Hey, sorry. You talked about not sparring.
I got a sharp mind. I see you when I walked in. I was to the left.
Yeah, you did. You looked right at my camera. Thank you so much for that. It's online already. So you said you didn't spar much for the last month, and then you make the request to have the glove out size dropped. So how did that feel to you tonight? Did your punches feel different? Did they feel more powerful? How did that affect your performance, do you think?
Remember I told you guys this in the last, if you go back and look at the last press conference, this is exactly what I said. Remember, you can get it, but I've been hit by some of the best punchers in the world throughout my career. 90% of the time, I'm dishing it out. I told Conor McGregor, this is exactly what I told him. I said, you can dish it out, but you have to be able to take it. The same way you dish it out, you have to be able to take it. Just like when you have children, when you got children, and they joking with each other. One want to joke with the other, but the other don't want. But when one feeling good and the other not feeling good, they not in the mood to joke. So, just like in boxing, most of the times your big punchers, they can't take it. They can take it early on, but down the stretch, they can't take it.
So my other question to you is, obviously you guys went back and forth a lot during the press conferences leading up, but Conor is always somebody who's noble in defeat. So what was he saying to you inside the ring afterwards? What did he say when you guys exchanged words after the fight?
I just told him, tough. I told him, you're a tough competitor. Good fight. And keep up the good work, basically. I always want to carry myself like a gentleman, even though, you gotta realize when we in the press conference, when we doing what we doing, that's my job. He's the notorious one. I'm the money man. So we gotta get a fan what they want to see. When the fan, when we done the press tour, we went to four cities and 3 countries in 4 or 5 days. So when we had arenas like this, packed with 20,000 fans, we gotta give it a show. And a lot of people thought it was fake. No, we didn't like each other. We probably still don't like each other, but we still had to act like gentlemen at the end of the day. I can't come here, after making, over 300 million. I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't like you. Good fight, make your career go on.
Floyd, right here in front. Floyd, have you had a chance to talk to your kids yet? And what does it mean to you and your family to have you finally officially retired? And what does that mean to them?
I'm pretty sure they're happy. You know, I'm pretty sure they're happy because they get to see me a lot more. You know, we get to spend a lot more time together, and that's really what it's about. You know, it's about family. You know, I came out here first. You know, to Vegas. Well, my Uncle Roger came out here to Vegas first, and then I didn't even have no plans on moving. Actually, I didn't even have no plans on moving to Las Vegas. I came out here, you know, turned professional at 19. And I can remember when I turned professional because I always talk about this story in the dressing room, you know, at the Mayweather Boxing Club. I go in the bed, you know, when I went to Top Rank promotion company, when I went inside the office, I looked. They said they was talking, and they moved a piece of paper out the way. Then I seen that check. To myself, I was like, damn, I ain't never seen that many O's in my life. Because I'm from, you know, I come from poverty. I come from the inner city. The check was only $100,000, but to me, when I seen the check, it looked like $100 million because I'm from the inner city. I never seen those type of numbers. You know, hood rich to me is, you know, $30 or $40, $60,000. That's hood rich. You hear about it, but when you're actually seeing 100,000, everything Top Rank was saying to me, I didn't hear anything. I just wanted to sign on a dotted line and get the check. And I feel like I'm the richest man in the world at 19, receiving $100,000. But, you know, I went to the gym. I never slacked. I continue to work hard every day. I never put nothing before I put in my boxing, nothing. I worked hard, extremely hard every day. My dad still was in prison because, you know, my dad left my life when I was 16. When my dad came back to my life, when my dad came back in my life, I was 21. So a lot of people want to kind of know about our relationship. So it was kind of rocky, you know. When my dad left me, I was basically a teenage kid. When he come back into my life, I'm an adult because I'm paying my own bills. I'm responsible. I got my own house. I got my own car. I got my own everything. So it's kind of hard for us to really get on the same page. He still is the best trainer that ever trained me, hands down. I mean, because I beat all these fights with everything that my dad taught me. It's key things in boxing that I'm just in fighting period that fighters need, and that's why I had the ups on most fighters. Is because I've done those key things that my dad taught me.
Floyd, back here.
Floyd, right here. Congratulations. You're famous all around the world for your defensive skills, but I was wondering how exciting it was in that 10th round when you were landing one shot after the other just before the refs stopped the fight, that, you know, to let it go, all those, you know, those last shots of your career.
I mean, counter, of course. I mean, it's like a catch-22. If he didn't get knocked out, I mean, if he hit the canvas, then they would have said, why you guys didn't stop it earlier? Then when you stop it, they're going to say, oh, I didn't hit the canvas. I mean, you didn't throw a punch for a whole 1 minute and was getting hit with big shots. But like I said, I'm not here to bash Conor McGregor. I'm not here to do that. We done enough talking. I told him before, we both done a lot of talking, you know, a lot of barking. It's time to bite. That was it.
Here in the back, Salvador Rodriguez from ESPN Deportes. Floyd, here back.
Oh, I know you. What's up?
Yeah, thank you. Floyd, what do you think that this is your legacy in the sport? What is the things that you change in this sport that you show to the young guys? What is your legacy around your career?
Run it by me again?
Yeah. What do you think that is your legacy in boxing? What do you show to the new guys? What do you change in this sport?
I think, you know, every day, I think even communicating with Steven Espinoza of Showtime, every day we're trying to find that next Floyd Mayweather. It's not easy. It's not easy, and I'm pretty sure Steven was extremely happy when I said, we're gonna do this fight. You know, I'm the first one that talked to the CEO of the UFC. One day, I was on the phone with the CEO of the UFC, and I said, yo, me and Conor can fight. And he was like, no, Floyd, not that fight. I don't think he want to fight. But eventually, we made it happen. But as far as my legacy, you know, the most important thing to me about my career is the things that I did on the outside. You know, making the money on the inside, but making my money work for me on the outside. That's the most important thing to me about my career.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, you got yeah, we're gonna let a few more go because that guy here in the girl collection gave me an interview. He went to MMA when he cool. He didn't support my strip club.
To your left, Floyd. To your left, right. Okay, Floyd. Robert Vittel. Black Sports Online.
What's up, family?
How you doing, my man? Thank you. Hold my laptop. I appreciate it. The question that I had for you is, now that your career is over, I was at the gym a couple of days ago. You see Adrian Broner, you see Errol Spence. A lot of these young African-American fighters look up to you, not what you did inside of the ring, but what you did outside of the ring. What are a couple of things that you try to teach these young African-American fighters who a lot of times feel like they are villainized because they're black, to make it not just inside of the ring, but outside of the ring?
Well, when these young fighters get their checks, you know, when they get their checks, we can't think about just right now. You know, a lot of fighters, I was like that, but I got the money real young. The $100,000 that was the first check I got, but all throughout that week I got some more checks from Top Rank. So, you know, I think by the time I was 20, probably by the time I was 20, 21, I was a millionaire. But these young fighters want to buy, bro, they see Floyd Mayweather with all the watches, all the diamond chains, all the cars. They have to invest their money. That's very, very, very important. They have to invest their money. And that's what I try to teach them. You know, Floyd Mayweather was able to buy a diamond chain, a car, a house, everyone, from smart investments. You know, you have to, you know, when I get with my billionaire buddies, I don't get with my billionaire buddies and say, oh, I'm happy to hang in your house, or I'm happy to ride in your jet. You know, I don't say that, oh, I'm happy to ride on your yacht. I say, teach me how you did it, so I can have the same thing. So my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren can have it. Because I try to teach these fighters that becoming rich, you become rich. Wealth is something that is established to where wealth, when you're getting millions every month, you know, like myself, making $1 million, making millions every month. But you know, I have to take my hat off to Al Heyman also, because he's a very, very shrewd businessman. He's fucking unbelievable. Al Heyman is unbelievable, and we all know. You know, Al Heyman is he don't really like his name mentioned. He like to stay behind the scenes. But everything that we came together and did is remarkable. When I wanted the biggest deal in sports history, him and Steven got together and we made it happen. When, you know, with everything, you know, with all the jets, with 3 private jets and the mansions all around the world, he was a part of everything, helping me get and reach everything that I wanted to do in life. So, you know what I mean? And a lot of people keep on saying, they think that Sam Watson is Al Heyman. Al Heyman is the guy that's probably in here tonight, but he's probably sitting up there. You know, he like to lay behind the scenes. Hell of a guy, though. And anytime I went to him or I went to Steven, I went to CBS, I went to Showtime, everything that I asked of them, they did. Even like with the Hublot deal. Of course I got on the Hublot right now, because I cut a multi-million-dollar deal with Hublot. You know, I made millions and millions of dollars with Hublot just for, you know, less than 30 minutes. You know, I'm talking about millions of dollars. And then also, you know, like I said before, I learned how to work smarter, not harder. No different from this. You know, I got this hat on up here for a reason. And normally you guys would see me with a money team hat on, so you know they had to pay a hefty price for me to have this hat on. So this is how it works. Where we at? Next question.
How you doing, Floyd? Tony Centeno, Vibe Magazine. Before the fight, you released a 42-track playlist, Hard Work and Dedication. Now tonight, you know, before and after, what kind of records were playing in your ear, aside from the records from that playlist?
On my way, you know, to the venue, what I was playing, everybody always see me on social media with the old school iPod. Because the new school iPod, you're not able to shuffle the songs. But the old school iPod, you can have more diamonds on the old school iPod, and you're able to shuffle the songs. But what I'm listening to is I like a lot of old school music. You know, a lot of old school music. Come on in, Connor. I'm listening to a lot of old school music, a lot of old school R&B, a lot of old school rap.
What about that Bodak Yellow?
Who?
Bodak Yellow, Cardi B?
Oh, Cardi B, she's making a mark, you know. She's done an amazing job to come from, you know, a cast of love and hip hop to having a big song. She's truly amazing. Ladies and